This YouTube channel is making over $7,000 a month, posting simple, faceless videos created entirely with free AI tools. And get this, the channel is only 3 months old. In that short time, they've pulled in 5 million views and over 130,000 subscribers, all without ever showing their face or using their own voice. So, I decided to give myself 48 hours to figure out exactly how they're doing it. And after analyzing all of their content, not only did I uncover their full strategy, but I also figured out how to recreate their entire system using just 2 AI tools. Now in today's video, I'm going to break it all down and walk you through the full process, step by step, from A to Z. How to write viral scripts, how to design visuals that outperform 99% of other channels, and most importantly, how to turn your videos into cold, hard cash. Before we jump into the full tutorial, quick heads up. We'll be using a few different AI tools and long-form prompts that are key to making this work. That's why I've put together a free Google Doc packed with everything you'll need, tool links, prompt templates, and copy-paste instructions for any niche you choose. Alright, first things first, you need to pick the right niche. For this tutorial, I'll be focusing on the motivational and transformational self-development space, specifically in the style of Jim Rohn. One channel recently went viral with this exact approach. Unlike most self-development channels, this one bases its content on Jim Rohn's timeless philosophies, especially those found in his classic teachings. And what really makes it unique, the narration is delivered in Jim Rohn's own iconic voice, recreated with AI. It's a powerful blend of old-school wisdom and modern storytelling, and clearly, it's resonating with today's audience. And if you think they just got lucky, think again. Another channel, just 6 weeks old and using the same strategy, has already gained over 26,000 subscribers, and there are dozens more popping up with the same format. That's how hot this niche is right now. Oh, and if you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, and feel free to drop any questions in the comments. I do my best to reply to everyone. Now, to give you a quick glimpse of what we're going to create in this tutorial, here's a short demo video I put together, and it took less than 30 minutes to complete.
They never told you that the battlefield was in your mind, not the news, not the school, not the job. They told you to work harder, move faster, do more, but no one told you that until you master your thoughts, you'll always be a prisoner wearing invisible chains. See, your life is not defined by what happens to you, it's shaped by what happens within you. And until that clicks and until you grasp that your greatest enemy is the voice whispering, you're not enough, you'll keep building castles on sand.
Right. Now that we've locked in our niche, it's time to come up with video ideas. And let me tell you, this step is one of the most important in the entire process. It's also where most channels go wrong. They pick random topics without doing any research to see if the idea actually has the potential to go viral. But here's the truth, going viral has nothing to do with luck, it's pure strategy. If a topic has gone viral once, chances are it can do it again. So instead of guessing, we're going to reverse engineer what's already working. Start by finding a popular channel in your niche. Then go to their videos tab and filter their content by most popular. What you'll see are their top performing videos, the ones that racked up the highest views. That's what we're aiming for. By filtering this way, you're only looking at proven topics, ideas that already captured audience attention and triggered the algorithm. To make this part super easy, I've already put together a prompt that handles the heavy lifting for you. Remember the Google Doc I mentioned earlier? Alright. Look for the section titled Topic Generator. Copy the full prompt. Then open up your preferred AI text generator, whether that's DeepSeek, Quinn, or ChatGPT. Personally, I've tested this with the free version of ChatGPT, and it works perfectly, so no need to worry if you don't have a paid subscription. Once you're in, just paste in the prompt. You won't need to tweak much. The only thing you'll want to change is the number of topics you want ChatGPT to generate. Replace the placeholder with whatever number you like. I usually go with 20. Then hit enter and let ChatGPT do its thing. The results are usually spot on. Just take a moment to scroll through the list and pick the ones that stand out for your video. And if nothing jumps out, just hit regenerate, and you'll get a fresh batch of ideas. I think the second one is really going to catch people's attention, so I'm going to go with that. Now that we've got our topic and our channel set up, let's move on to the next step, creating a viral script. Obviously, we're not going to write it ourselves, because remember, the goal here is to build this entire video using only free AI tools. Head back to the Google Doc and look for the section labeled Script Generator. But before you copy it over, there are a couple of things to keep in mind. The channel we're modeling typically uses long-form scripts, around 4,000 words or more. The problem is, most AI text generators can only handle around 1,200 words in a single output. That's why this prompt is designed to break the script into chunks, usually around 1,200 words each, so the AI doesn't get cut off mid-script. If you want a shorter video, you can simply adjust the word count in the prompt. Once you're happy with it, copy the entire prompt and paste it into ChatGPT. Then scroll down, find the placeholder, and replace it with the topic you selected earlier. Hit enter, and just like that, ChatGPT will generate the first section of your script. It doesn't take long, and the best part? It nails the narration style. No boring intros, just clean, engaging content. To generate the next part, simply type continue and hit enter again. Keep repeating that until you've got the full script. The number of parts it generates will depend on your topic and the minimum word count you specified. The default setup usually breaks it into 4 or more sections. Once you've got the complete script, you're ready for the next step. It almost always generates solid scripts, but it's still a good idea to proofread and make sure everything flows smoothly. Go ahead and copy the full script, because now it's time to move on to the next step of the blueprint, generating the voiceover. Normally, this is where I tell you to use any AI voiceover tool you like, but this niche is a little different. Instead of browsing through 11 Labs' default voice library to find something that sounds good enough, we're going to take it a step further. For this strategy to really work, the voiceover needs to sound like Jim Rohn himself, and that means we'll need to create the voice manually. Don't worry, it's easier than it sounds, and this is where the resource folder I mentioned earlier comes in. Inside, you'll find 2 voice samples. One is around 4 minutes long, and the other is about 40 minutes. Go ahead and download both, then head over to 11 Labs. Once you're logged in, navigate to the Voices tab, and click on Add a New Voice. You'll see 2 options, Professional Voice Cloning and Instant Voice Cloning. Now, the professional option gives you the best results, but there's a catch. It requires you to read a script on screen in the same voice you're trying to clone, which isn't possible in our case since we're using Jim Rohn's voice samples. So while you can try to work around it, it's honestly more trouble than it's worth. Instead, go with the Instant Voice Clone option. It still does a great job. Select that option, upload the 4-minute Jim Rohn sample from the resource folder, and leave the default settings as they are. Then hit next to start the cloning process. It usually takes a minute or 2. Once it's done, fill out the required details and save the voice. From there, just click the Text-to-Speech tab, select the Jim Rohn voice you just created from your list, paste in your script, and hit generate. If it sounds a bit slow or off, feel free to tweak the settings using the voice filters until it matches the tone you're going for. Now that we've got the voiceover ready, the next step is to find a good image of the speaker. Head over to Google and search for Jim Rohn. Browse through the results and pick an image you like. You can go with a younger photo, but the channel we're modeling uses an older version, so feel free to choose whichever fits the tone of your content best. Just keep in mind, the quality of these images isn't great. Most were taken long before we had high-resolution cameras, and unfortunately, AI image generators don't do a great job replicating real historical figures, even if you upload a reference image. That's why we'll enhance the photo using Adobe's free image upscaler. Once you've downloaded your chosen photo, head over to Adobe Image Upscaler, upload the image, select the enhancement settings. You can go with 3x or 4x scale for better results, and let Adobe sharpen and improve the quality for you. After that's done, it's time to remove the background. Go to Adobe Background Remover, upload the upscaled image, and wait a few seconds. It'll give you a clean, transparent cutout of the speaker, ready to be used in your video. Before we jump into editing, there's one more thing we need to take care of. Most of these types of videos begin with a real quote by Jim Rohn that ties into the topic. To generate one, go to the Google Doc, copy the quote prompt, and paste it into ChatGPT. Scroll to the bottom of the prompt, replace the placeholder with your selected topic, and hit enter. ChatGPT will generate a quote, the author's name, and even the source, though we won't be needing the source. Go to the Text tab and bring in the default text box. Now, paste in the quote you generated earlier using ChatGPT. If the quote includes the book or speech title, feel free to remove that part. We only need the actual quote and the author's name. Next, break the quote into multiple lines for better readability. Then adjust the line spacing to make it look clean and well balanced. You can also pick a font that fits your aesthetic. I'm just going to choose a random one here, but feel free to experiment. Once the text looks good, now add an entrance animation. A simple type animation works perfectly for this style, so I'll go with that and increase the duration slightly for smoother pacing. Here's a nice touch to make the quote appear more dynamic. If you want to elevate the moment even further, head to Audio Sound Effects, search for a typing sound, and preview a few until you find one you like. Drop it into the timeline so it lines up with the entrance animation, then trim it to match the timing. Finally, now let's add a film frame effect. Click on Effects, search for Film Frame, and drag your favorite one onto the timeline. The first option usually works well, but feel free to pick any style you like. Next, let's tidy up the layers. Select all your video layers, right-click, and choose Create Compound Clip. This will group everything together for easier editing. Now, import your voiceover, speaker image, and background image into CapCut. Start by dragging your audio file onto the timeline. Next, bring in the speaker's image and place it onto the timeline as well. Move the image over to the left side of the screen and increase its size as needed. If you want more precise control, you can adjust its position using the X and Y settings. Now, let's clean up the voiceover. Go through the audio and trim out any long silences, but be sure to leave the natural pauses so everything still flows smoothly. Once you're happy with the audio, stretch the speaker image so it matches the entire length of the video. To give the speaker image a more cinematic feel, click on Filters and search for Crystal Clear. Drag this filter onto the image and tweak it until you're satisfied. For even more control, go into Adjustments and play around with the temperature, tint, and saturation. You can also fine-tune the exposure, contrast, and highlights until the image looks just right. Now, it's time to add your background. Drag the background image into the timeline, making sure it sits beneath the speaker image, and extend it to cover the whole video. Increase its size if needed so it completely fills the frame. Select both the speaker image and background layer, then group them together into a compound clip. Now, add the film frame effect and extend it over the entire compound clip for that vintage look. For captions, click on Captions, select Auto Captions, and hit Generate. CapCut will automatically transcribe and create captions for you. Position the captions in the middle right area of the screen, next to the speaker image. Then head over to Templates to browse different caption styles. Choose one you like, and adjust the font size, color, and style until it fits your video's look. Once your video is finished, you can export it in either 1080p or 4K resolution. The final step is thumbnail creation, and this is more important than most people realize. Copy the thumbnail prompt from the Google Doc, paste it into ChatGPT, replace the placeholder with your video topic, and hit Enter. ChatGPT will generate punchy text options to help your thumbnail stand out. Next, open your favorite photo editor. I recommend Photoshop, but Photopea works just as well, and it's free. Create a new canvas with an aspect ratio of 2560 by 1440. First, use the rectangle tool to draw a solid black background across the whole canvas. Then, drag and drop your speaker image onto the canvas and position it on the left side. This gives space for your main text on the right. Use the text tool to create your headline area. Paste in the text ChatGPT generated. Increase the font size until it's bold and eye-catching. If you want to highlight certain words, just change their color. Many top channels use yellow, red, or white for emphasis, but feel free to use whatever matches your style. You can also change the font if you want a specific look. For extra pop, use the rectangle tool to add a colored box, like red, under your most important keyword. If the box covers your text, just move its layer below the text in the layer stack. To finish off, add the speaker's name in smaller text, usually near the bottom or in a corner. Duplicate your red rectangle for the speaker's name background if you want, and scale it down to fit. For a polished touch, right-click your speaker's image and go to Blending Options. Add a soft glow, choose a color that matches your channel, and maybe a drop shadow for depth. Adjust the settings until it looks the way you want. It's easy to see changes in real time, so experiment a bit. Once you're happy with the result, export your thumbnail as a PNG or JPEG. And that's it.